Hello there, welcome to day 2, the notebook of Jerez testing. Let's just have a look a bit more as Danny Kvyat does a practice start. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, that went about as well as his front wing, didn't it? If you would have watched on elsewhere on the Sky Sports F1 website, you would have heard Christian Horner explain the reason why Kvyat is going out with a nose cone but no front wing. Just if you haven't seen that, just to recap, it's because pretty much on his first lap he broke it. He hit a high curb, I think it was, or Horner said it was all part of the wall. Anyway, he broke his front wing, and amazingly that's the only front wing main plane that Red Bull have here, or I should say had. So Horner's private plane is actually going out to Milton Keynes to go and pick up a new one, or rather the Red Bull private plane. It's not Christian Horner's private plane, the Red Bull plane, the plane that Red Bull use. Don't want to get in trouble here. Is going out to pick up a new one from Milton Keynes, and it will arrive overnight and it will be fitted to the car. So in the meantime, there's still things that Red Bull can learn in terms of starts, good or not very good, and in terms of engine mapping that they want to do, and in terms of fuel consumption. Well, actually they can't learn too much in that because you need a full downforce car, if you see what I mean, proper loads on it, without a front wing. Now the interesting thing is that they had to go to the FIA and get the permission to run the car without a front wing, because of course cars need to be legal to run in testing now. You can't just put anything on there, even though they can play around with weight to make deceptive lap times, but still they need to be legal. So Paul Monaghan, pedals, went to Joe Bauer, the paddock policeman from the FIA. I saw them go there and said, is it all right? This will show you what we want to do. Can we go and run the car like this with no front wing? And Joe Bauer very kindly said, yes, you can. And good luck to you. So that's what's going on. But do have a look on the other part of the Sky Sports F1 website. I'll post a link to it on Twitter, where you can see a bit where I decode some of the curves and shapes and bodywork and cooling that they've done on that Red Bull RB11, because it's very nice. It's essentially a whole new cooling concept, having got it so wrong last year. And there's some nice touches on there, and we kind of try and see through the camouflage a little bit. Now to McLaren. And 4 days of testing, 2 in Abu Dhabi and 2 so far here in Jerez, and they haven't got the car to successfully talk to itself. So it's having a little bit of a crisis, the car. It's not the engine inherently, and they don't actually know whether it's the tight packaging that we were telling you about yesterday, because they haven't run it in any kind of long runs. Who knows? Maybe when they do run the car, they get all the electronic gremlins sorted out and all the sensors talking to each other between engine, electronics, ERS and all the rest of it, and it runs. Maybe they'll find out that the car is indeed too tightly packaged and it starts overheating at the back. But they just don't know that yet with this tight packaging, this size 0 packaging at the back, because they can't get it to run. And that's 4 days now, as I say. And while, yes, this is only testing, and who knows, once they fix it and go out in a short amount of time, which they are going to do, and it could go for 80 laps, we just don't know. But I can't detect any worried faces yet, but certainly there will be quite soon. Of course, Fernando Alonso has had to sit in the McLaren motorhome and watch a Ferrari be quickest on both days so far. So as we speak at the moment, which is about 4 o'clock, Sebastian Vettel, oh great, he's just going out, is quickest again with a 1:20, which is a very nice time. A very nice time that a lot of teams are saying, no matter what the fuel, yeah, that's a very, very respectable time. Yes, with all the usual caveats that, you know, we don't know what they're doing. So let's have a look as he comes out at this lovely Ferrari with the Alfa Romeo badge on the back. So all you Alfa owners there, you're much more in tune with Ferrari now. And yeah, Vettel's been having a good day of it. We told you yesterday what he's been saying about how he feels at home. There's his trainer who's come over, Antti, Antti the Heart Stealer. I can't remember if that was his surname, his nickname. Be a funny surname. So he's moved over with the other part of Team Vettel to Ferrari. And Riccardo Adami, I don't know if I told you this yesterday, who's Vettel's engineer, has come to this team from Toro Rosso. He's actually the engineer with whom Vettel won the Italian Grand Prix when he was driving for Toro Rosso. So 2008, I think it was. It's an all-new engineering team. There's Adami, just behind that white screen that they're about to pull this fence in front of. But we've also had family Vettel here as well. I don't know if they are here. They're not. I can't see them for the moment. But Sebastian's dad Norbert and his brother Fabian were around and watching earlier. They normally come out when Sebastian's on track, but they're not here at the moment. So yeah, this Ferrari is much better. Just talking to some people from Mercedes, they're saying that you never know. It might actually not be as much of a walkover this year as last year. I'm not sure many people would believe that, but given the reliability and the speed we've seen from Mercedes so far, but you never know. It will be tight. So anything else to say about Ferrari for the moment? Not for the moment while he's still on track, but we will find out a little bit later on what Sebastian thought of day 2. And in this section, with 5 minutes gone, I just wanted to wander down to Lotus. And are you with me, JD? Oh, you're watching that chap. And really say what a gift it is for them to have the Mercedes engine and powertrain and the gearbox, because it's meant, of course, being ultra reliable. Lewis Hamilton doing 100 laps so far as we speak, sort of late afternoon now in the pit lane, and 157 laps for Nico Rosberg yesterday, that it's reliable. And it means that with this, oh, go on, let's have a little side-on sneaky peek at the short-nosed Lotus E23, shall we, JD? That looks very nice. It means that they can put this car together overnight once it comes in from Enstone, fire it up, and then do some really good long running as well, which is very impressive. And they might look all glum in the garage, but I think they're quite happy with the day they're having so far. And they should be, because after what looked like a very dodgy first day, it's actually been quite a good day for Lotus Mercedes. And I still have to remind myself to say that. There's Pastor in the car there, and it looks like absolutely nothing is happening while they prepare to go out. So there you go, there's some little taster of what's happening in the pit lane. Join us in a moment where we will sum up Pastor's day, we'll sum up Williams' day, we'll have an update on Sauber as well, who continue to impress with that uprated and upgraded and more powerful Ferrari power unit and engine. We'll see what Kvyat had to learn about his day, and hear about NASA as well in the Sauber, and anything else that catches our interest. About to go out again. Do you want to watch them go out, JD? Yeah, go on, why not? Don't see this very often. Have a look just at the engine airbox, JD, and you see the little ears either side of it, just above the driver's head. That's something interesting we'll be covering in Development Corner on the last day, on Wednesday. Man, that makes a noise. And I tell you, they're louder these days. They're louder this year. The engines really are louder this year. Anyway, so that's some interesting packaging and some interesting cooling that they've got this year, actually diverting air from just either side, the little ears either side of the engine airbox, down into an oil cooler and a water cooler and stuff like that. And what a difference. Look, there they go. Actually, car makes it out on track, and with the Mercedes engine, it can just run and run and run. And a very interesting day it was too, as the sun goes down on Jerez day 2. And I just didn't tell you about the McLaren. They were running, you might have seen on some pictures on our live blog on the website, they were running a sort of what looked like a big spoil or a wart on the front of the nose. That was a camera looking on the inside of the front wing end plates to measure the flexion on the front wing and the end plate, something that you've seen them do in free practice before. That's what that was. And McLaren were running some unmarked tyres because they were the development tyres that they were running as well, just to answer you that. So they only did 5 laps in the end to Jenson Button. The same problem as yesterday, and it's taking a long time to fix that. Didn't get out towards the end. which was not good. Not a good day for McLaren. And as for Lotus, they ended up P6. We were talking about with 41 laps for Pastor Maldonado at 25.8 and ended the day with a drivetrain problem. Right, I've got to keep to my time because I got shouted at yesterday for going a little bit over. So I'll just rattle through everybody else. Good day for Williams. Second day running for Valtteri Bottas. And he ended the day with a 22.3 for third quickest. So that's it. Felipe Massa takes over for the next couple of days. Sauber, really good. We've just spoken to Felipe Nasr down there. Hopefully you've seen that in the program just before us. He's saying that the car is really very nice, very precise in low-speed corners. Marcus Ericsson, who drove both the old Sauber and this year's Sauber, says that he's sure that he can feel that the deficiencies of the old car have been rectified. It's better under braking, and it's a much better and well-progressed car from last year's Sauber, which you might, cynics amongst you might say that wouldn't be hard, but it's much better. But the basic learning day for Felipe Nasr, because it was his first day in a Sauber, but he did a brilliant time to P2 on a 21.8, but that was on a soft tyre and on quite low fuel. Toro Rosso, P5 for Max Verstappen on a 24.1, compares very well to Carlos Sainz Jr., but he doesn't like to be called Junior apparently, who did yesterday on a 25.3. So that compares very well for Verstappen, and they've still got a whole lot of work on the setup, on brakes and learning for Verstappen really, but he's actually progressing quite well, the still 17-year-old Max Verstappen, so well done for him. Mercedes, I was going to tell you about the change in engineers yesterday, but before I run out of time, Jock Clear is actually seeing out his notice period before he goes and takes Pat Fry's old job as head of engineering at Ferrari. So he's still, at the moment, going to be based back at the factory with Mercedes and is going to see out the year. Riccardo Mosconi is now Lewis Hamilton's performance engineer, but Lewis Hamilton's main engineer is still Bono, Pete Bonington, the guy who says, "Okay, Lewis, it's hammer time." He is still Lewis's main engineer. So that's Pete Bonington, but Riccardo Mosconi is now the new performance engineer. And Lewis came in for a water leak from a failed part in the radiators and the water system, and that stopped his day after only 91 laps, 66 laps less than Nico Rosberg managed yesterday for a 1:22.4 and P4. Quickly on Ferrari, Sebastian Vettel got a round of applause and ended up the day fastest on a 1:20.984. So good day for Sebastian Vettel. Kimi Räikkönen takes the Ferrari drive for the next couple of days, but he was a happy guy. Danny Kvyat, you saw earlier, he made that mistake and wiped out his front wing. He said, sometimes mistakes happen. Put his hands up, it was his mistake. But he next drives on Wednesday. Ricciardo is back in the car tomorrow. Okay, that is it. We're out of time. I'll see you for day 3 of the Jerez test in the notebook tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Enjoy Sky Sports F1 Live on all screens, on the go, and the best bits on demand.